Hello all. Good afternoon to everyone present here. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Audible.
Good afternoon. Good
Yes,
afternoon.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Just a second, I'll give a formal introduction.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all present here. I welcome you all to the third session of day 4 in our FDP on Artificial Intelligence, Machine Learning and Genomics. Today, we have with us Dr. Swarna Ganesh, who is a yoga physician and a research fellow in naturopathy as a resource person today on the topic Towards Inner Self Through Yoga. I'm happy to introduce Dr. Swarna Ganesh. She did her Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences from JSS Institute, Coimbatore. She pursued her fellowship in research methodology from National Institute of Naturopathy, Pune. She has presented many papers and projects in various conferences on yoga. Currently, she is a research officer in Jindal Natural Care Institute. Her works include predominantly natural ways to boost hemoglobin, fight asthma naturally, and so on. We are very happy to have such an eminent personality amongst us today. On behalf of Sri Krishna College of Engineering and Technology, I welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you.
This virtual session is all yours. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. I wish everybody a very good afternoon and a warm welcome to this session today. So the topic today is Journey Towards the Inner Self Through Yoga. So at the present crisis, I guess everybody of us are into some of the situations of stress, like we might not know especially are we undergoing a stress or not. It can be direct, it can be indirect as well. It can be something related to your work, it can be something related to your family, it can be related to your health, it can be related to the fear you have due to the social stigma and so on. The fears can be of so many different types and you are fighting knowingly or unknowingly against it. Okay, so to the present scenario, I guess stress is the main factor that is needed to be eliminated at first step. And I would like to start on my presentation. So before going with the presentation, I guess there are about 60 plus participants in the show. So how many of you all know that you are undergoing, and how many of you are aware that you are undergoing any sort of stress due to the pandemic that is evolving, or what it is causing to you? Can few of you elaborate or put it in the chat box or whatever? Can I just know what you are all undergoing so that I can give up my session that way? Yeah, so I would like to know what kind of fears you people are handling, and what are the ways you are expecting to fight it out or something like that. Can few of you please come up?
Hello, ma'am.
Hello.
I'm Bindu here.
Okay.
My neighbor is actually infected with corona.
Okay.
And the house outside my flat also, there is an infected person.
Okay.
So we are like whether to move out or will we be safe?
Okay.
That is my, and
in
addition to that, I'm working also. So
okay.
we have fully jam-packed online classes also going on, and I'm
Okay.
attending this workshop as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Anybody else? Okay, handling both the housework and official work together. Fine. Okay, let me start with the presentation today, okay? Just a minute. Yeah. Everybody are able to see the presentation? Is it visible? Can someone tell me, is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. So what is stress? Basically, what stress is, I want every one of you to know about what is a stress. Okay, so when there is a stimulus outside your body, okay, stimulus in sense, it can be a situation, it can be anything that occurs outside your body, physically, mentally, emotionally, or at any point of time that is not related to your body as such. Any situation that is from the outside world triggering you to end up with some sort of pressure inside without knowing, or without knowing or unknowingly. Yeah, so that stimulus, particular stimulus, and the response you give to that stimulus or the environment is called as the stress. Okay, so this personal response, that is the pressure that you face due to the outside world, it always mismatches. Okay, so why this mismatch happens? If at all, say for example, you have a situation, okay, you go in for a job interview, say for example, you go in for a job interview, you have certain expectation, okay, and you are fully aware that this job is going to be very beneficial for you, or it is the one you were expecting or whatsoever. But at one point, whatever positive things you have, you also have some expectations of a minimal salary. Yeah, at least this much you want it at your minimum level, this is what you expect. But then you get all other things what you expect for, and then that you lack this small thing of the expectation that you have been keeping on your salary, that might go up and down, lower. If it goes up, well and good, you will adapt to the situation. But when it goes down, when you mismatch your expectation to the environment outside, it is definitely going to put you into stress. Whatever is going to be the other credibilities the institute is going to give you apart from the salary, the main expectation that you had upon, okay, monetarily, that will always create an indirect stress. Okay, at some point of time, what will happen at certain, after certain stage, you will keep seeking for another job for an improvement in the salary level or whatsoever. So that one expectation which you did not meet up might put you into a different level of stress. Like indirectly you will be reacting to it, indirectly, not voluntarily. Probably you like the job, probably you like the place, whatever, but then somewhere subconsciously in your hypothalamus level, there is a repeated affirmation that you give for yourself without knowingly, that your expectations are not yet met, your expectations are not yet met. This always happens. This is what is the simple example. So stress will increase the pressure. Okay, so with whatever resources you are going to have, when the pressure is high, the resources doesn't matter, it doesn't matter at all. So when the pressure goes high, obviously the productivity comes down. Okay, so stress is defined as any strain that is caused in the body. Okay, so the strain can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be mental. It is not just, stress does not mean only anxiety and depression, that is not stress. Stress can be anything, it can be any sort of pain that is related to your body, it can be any sort of emotion that you are undergoing, it can be any sort of mental sickness that you are really facing, it can be anything. Okay, so stress is defined as the emotional and physical strain caused by a person's response to the pressure from the outside world. As I said, so any stimulus that is coming from outside and how the way you respond to it, that is defined as the stress. Okay, so the mismatch that is happening between what you aspire and what they are capable to give you. Okay, so what you want from the world but what the world is giving you, so this mismatch is defined as the stress. Okay, so next one is like biomedically explaining it. The biological context of stress is physical, mental, or emotional factor that causes bodily or mental tension. So whenever a person is undergoing stress, the tension will be at two different levels. Either body, physically you will undergo pain, or physically you will have some sort of disalignment, which is called as basically not in harmony with the natural body. Okay, so either it can be bodily or it can be mental tension or an emotional tension. All right, so the next one is the stresses can be two different varieties. One can be an external stress that is caused by the environment, that is caused by the psychological or the social situations that put you into the psychological stress. So that can be external factor. Anything apart from your own thing that puts you into stress is an external factor. Okay, internal factor, when you see, it is like any medical condition. Even the psychological thing, you can state the psychological thing is an internal factor, but it is not. When your psychology is affected, when can a psychological basis of a person be affected? When you basically expect something, let it be a person, let it be monetary, let it be from the world, whatsoever, only when you put an expectation and the environment repels from your expectation, then you lead into the psychological stress. Okay, so we cannot call it external, I mean internal, I'm sorry, we cannot call the psychological stress an internal stress. It definitely happens because your expectations are not met out. This is the basic factor. Okay, and next one is the internal stress. So internal stress, when you see, I have given the example like illness, which is, or doing a medical procedure. Say for example, you're ill or something, undergoing a surgery that might cause you a pain, your organs are into distress. Okay, so keeping a knife on your body is obviously foreign to your body. Okay, your body is not for chopping and cutting. It is not, it is not for that. So when you are doing a surgery, when you are going in for a surgery or an injury, let it be any injury, fixing the injuries, fractures or anything like that. Okay, internally when you put your body into a different foreign matter, then it is called as the internal stress. It can be a disease or it can be fighting against a disease as well. Okay, so this stress, what it does to the body. Okay, so two things can happen. It is called as the fright and flight mechanism. There are two things that can happen to the body when you are in a stressful situation. Okay, so say for example, what is a flight and fright? Okay, so when a stress is there, stress, say for example, we change the word from stress to a challenge. Okay, when a challenge is put in front of you, you will have only two options: either to run away from the challenge without taking it, or to attend the challenge and then fighting against it. Yeah, so this is what is basically called as a fright and flight mechanism. Okay, flight is where you run away from the stress without handling it. Okay, the fright mechanism is fighting against the stress. Okay, so there can be different ways of attending to that flight and fright mechanism. Okay, that is basically related to the neurological and the endocrinal systems in your body. So neurological system is all about the brain. Okay, how your brain wants to react to that situation. Okay, say for example, you see a snake. What would be the first thing you will do? You will have obviously a flight response, because right from the childhood, right from the young age, out of 1,000 hardly one will not have the fear of a snake. Yeah, so more than 99% of the people will have the fear of the snake. So when you see a snake, obviously your body is going in for some mental tension, you will run away from the place, you will try to avoid the situation, you will always have a flight mechanism. So what happens to your body when you see a snake? Okay, so I said you are going to respond. Okay, I said the response when you saw a snake, it is called a stress. Okay, that is an external stimulus that is caused. Okay, so snake is an external stimulus. The flight response, where you're running away, is the response you give to that situation. Okay, in between this response and the causative factor, there is something called as the biological system in the body. Okay, what happens over there? You get fear. Yeah, you get anger sometimes. What the emotions that you are undergoing before giving that response. Okay, that is caused by the endocrine system which is present in your body and the neurological system. Okay, so when you see a snake, your brain detects some sort of what to say, some sort of uh, like a fear. Like you cannot state it as a fear. It stays you, it says you are in danger. Okay, your brain detects some danger for you. Okay, and when a danger comes in, what happens? Neurology, what is written, neurology is all about, I'm talking about brain. Okay, so your brain detects a danger from there. Okay, so when danger principle is activated on your brain, what happens? It stimulates the part called as hypothalamus in your body. Okay, so hypothalamus is also present inside the brain. I think most of you all know the brain parts. Basically, at least during your school, you would have heard all these terms. So there is a small part in this brain called as hypothalamus. So what it does, it receives the danger signal from the brain. Okay, your body is undergoing danger, so the hypothalamus receives it. Okay, from there it goes to the pituitary gland, the next gland. Okay, so this pituitary, what it does, it releases all the stress hormones. I can say the major stress hormone like endorphin, cortisol, these are all major stress hormones. Okay, so when pituitary is put into stress that a danger is coming, this pituitary starts releasing this cortisol hormone. Okay, so what happens is when the cortisol hormone is running across the body, it affects your kidney. Okay, so you all know when a person is under very bad fear, they tend to urinate. All of us know, we also make it as fun. Okay, pata bayatli, you will urinate. The same thing, it is actually a physiological response. So when the cortisol increase agumbodhu enna aguna, it puts your kidney into a lot of pressure. Okay, so it puts your kidney into a lot of pressure. Automatically the kidney will push out the urine that it is filtering out. Okay, so it puts out and you tend to urinate. Obviously, this is what. So apart from this, what else happens? Or chinna biology, I'm talking about a very basic physiology that you all can understand. Okay, so kidney is one of the main organs in the body. All right, so நம்ம என்ன சொல்லுவோம், உடம்புல முக்கியமான பார்ட்னு கேட்டா everybody would tell it is an heart. Okay, if heart stops functioning, it does not function. அதுதான். So any of you will tell heart is an important organ in the body, but heart always goes hand in hand with the kidney. Okay, if heart function is down, definitely your kidney will go into stress. If your kidney goes in for stress, your heart also goes in for stress. Why? Because heart lende, everybody know heart is the one which gives you the pure blood out, takes in the impure blood, sends it to the lungs for purification, and then it comes back to the heart, and then it is given to all other parts of the body. So enna agum appadina, when the heart is pumping out, okay, when it is pumping out, majority, the 75% of the blood that is pumped out is going to run to your kidneys at first. All right, so on the kidneys kulla pogumbodhu enna aguna, the blood is filtered out and your urine is extracted. Now the second point I'm going to talk about is the pressure. Okay, so when you are on fear, when you are running, when your body is into the anxiety level, enna agum appadina, your heartbeat is going to be faster. Yeah, it is going to, palpitations irukum, padapadan varum. When you are into fear, when you are into panic, to any sort of stressful situation, this is the response your body gives. Adu yen varudhu, it is not due to the brain. Okay, it is not the function of the brain. The brain's work is to detect only the danger. அதை detect பண்ணி it sends to the endocrine system, அதாவது இந்த கிளான்ஸுக்கு, pituitary glandsக்கு அனுப்பும். So what happens in the cortisol hormone வந்ததுக்கு அப்புறம் என்ன ஆகும்னா, the heart starts pumping faster and faster and faster. So அந்த pumping ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும்போது என்ன ஆகும்னா, see, you imagine a balloon. Okay, imagine a balloon. Okay, ஒரு balloon full of water fill பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கீங்க. Okay, when you squeeze it in a proper level, do it in a rhythmic phase, there is a proper proportion of water that is coming out of the balloon. You compare it same to the heart. Okay, so body, if it is at pace, evlo ada press pannalu, it is going to give out the same amount of blood, so it becomes a normal physiology. But enna agu, when you are undergoing a fearful situation or when you are undergoing a stress, what happens is heart enna pannuna, instead of shrinking in completely like this, it goes in for like this. Okay, complete shrinking nadakadu, perukku it goes in for shrinking, and then 80% blood வெளிய வர வேண்டிய இடத்துல hardly 40 or 35% of the blood starts coming out. Okay, so என்ன ஆகும்னா, படன்னு it will start pulsating. அதனால என்ன ஆகும்னா, blood pressure will start increasing. One thing, அந்த நேரத்துல வேர்த்து கொட்டுறது, the BP response, this is all due to the functioning of the heart that is happening. Okay, so heart rate increase agum, your pulse will be high, your blood pressure is going to go high. Blood pressure jaasti agumbodhu enna agum, or forceful pressure when it is falling upon the kidneys. Okay, konjama blood veliya vandalum or particular pressure oda veliya varumbodhu your kidney is also put into stress. Okay, so this is what is a normal physiology that is happening. Okay, and the situation lende konja dooram odi vandadukku appuram, take the same example of snake. Okay, so when you see the snake, you run away to a certain distance, and when your body detects, okay, ivlo dooram, after this, that is not going to affect me. When your body is responding to that situation, you have ran far enough that the snake can't come to you, and alavukku vandadukku appuram your body will start the fright mechanism. Okay, so you regain your proper functioning of the brain, and all the panic and all those things comes, and the stress goes away and your body goes in for normal physiology. Okay, so here I said about the example of snake, how it is actually the snake and the situation. Okay, in life also you can compare it to the same situation. Say for example, you have a financial crisis, or you have, you know, death of a spouse, or whatever it is, you have a loss. Okay, you have a loss. It can be financial, it can be emotional, it can be losing somebody in your family, it can be anything. Okay, so compare it to that situation. Okay, when you are not going to accept it. Okay, just give me 1 minute. Yeah. Sorry for interrupting. I had a hospital call. I'm so sorry. So yeah, the presentation is visible yet, or should I give present again? Can somebody tell me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So where I was, okay, yeah. Comparing to the situation of the life. Okay, so coming to the situation of the life, when you're going to,
Please make the presentation full screen.
Okay, just a second. Yeah, okay. So
Yeah.
when you have an I mean situation in the family, say for example, okay, so unless and until your brain is going to accept it, okay, the loss is a loss or whatever it is, until you accept the external pressure, until you accept that you have lost something, it is not going to come back. So the only way to eliminate stress is going along with acceptance, one thing, if not having no expectations. Okay, so you should not expect something from a situation. So I think the second one is the hardest everybody would undergo. We cannot think that we cannot we cannot even without having a gain, none of us would feel like doing something. Yeah, of course we want a reward. We are all reward trained. Okay, if you do something you will get something, so we are always trained to be having something in return. Okay, so having no expectation is a difficult task, but having an acceptance is a possible factor. Okay, it is all about the mind. If you want to accept, you can accept. If you don't want to, you need not. Okay, so accepting is really an easy task. But what yoga does to you, okay, I'll come to the basics of yoga after a few slides, but then what yoga does over here is control the amount of expectations you have. Okay, control the amount of rewards you want to gain, and this is what is the main function of yoga. So this yoga actually follows certain principles to bring in. It is not just about flexing your body, standing upside down. It does not do anything with that. Okay, so doing an asana or having flexibility in the body is not called yoga. Yoga is something else. It is related to your body and mind totally. Only when your mind can coordinate with your body also can respond properly to the environment. Okay, so I'll come to the yoga part a bit later. So I think all are clear with this flight and fright response. Okay, so either you fight the situation or you will run away from the situation. Okay, so what happened, I said you about the flight response. You ran away seeing the snake, that is a flight response. Accepting the situation, you are coming back to normal. Okay, what happens in a fight response or fright? So what happens over there is you accept the situation already. It is going to be a win or lose situation, but you are ready for both. Okay, I'm going to fight it at whatever cost. I'm going to do it. So there your self-confidence is boosted up due to the oxytocin level. Oxytocin level is like adrenaline pump. Okay, adrenaline is another hormone that comes when you are over enthusiastic even in anxiety, the adrenaline comes. It is all about how your brain is going to signal it. Okay. So in fright, you are going to fight against the situation. You win, you be happy. Even if you lose, you be stable. It is like there is no expectation factor over there. You already know the response. It is this or that. So this is what happens in fright response. Okay. So what the stress can do, it can alter your health. Okay. Health in what aspect? First, physical health, if you consider, I said you, what happens when you are into a fearful situation or stress இருக்கும்போது, what happens is your BP will go high, pulse rate will go high, you will sweat a lot, you will urinate, and all the physical stresses you will undergo. In emotion wise, fear is an emotion. So fearful, normal emotion you are deviating and you are in a fearful condition. Okay. Other tandi, you will get panic. Once you come out of the fear, you will end up in panic and then come back to the normal pace. So and the stress irukra varaikum, until that stress is there, emotionally you are not stable. You are going to be on a different phase of emotion. Okay. So what this does basically, in the physically and emotionally, when you are not stable with your own things, என்ன நடக்கும் அப்படின்னா, cognitive functions, I have mentioned something called as cognitive functions in the fourth point. So cognitive function is all about the concentration, your attention, your decision, your creativity, or your ability. Okay. Say for example, you be an athlete. Okay. Chinna vayasuland you might be an athlete, you know you are talented in it, but then you lost touch for a few years, say for example. But there is a condition where you are put up into a running race suddenly without knowing. It is a sudden stress factor for you. You are into a fear of, will you be able to do it, or will you win, or if you not win, what justice I'm going to do for the training I had done in my childhood. These are the three possibilities that you can do. So at that point, what decision you make, okay, it depends upon the response you are thinking of. If you are fearful in losing, you will decide not to run. Okay. One thing. If you decide you will not win, you will lose concentration. Instead of focusing on how to win, you will think that how you're going to lose, like you are going to lose. You are repeating for yourself that you're not going to win. Okay. And the third one is attention. Attention is the ego that you lose. What justice I have done to my childhood, like training so much. So you're losing that attention, what people will think. Instead of focusing on that particular situation and deciding a proper thing, you will lose all the cognitive functions. You will either, even if you know that you are capable enough, you will judge your ability, that will you be able to do it or not. Okay. So all these cognitive functions, which are very important in our daily life, like when you do any work, you need concentration, you need focus and attention, and you should decide it right. Say for example, being a teacher, you must be capable enough to decide how many pages of chapters you can cover in a day. You must be able to decide it. Okay. Within 45 minutes, I can cover only this much. You must be very good in decision making, like what chapter to start first, where to end first. So you must be capable enough in deciding it. And then the ability. Okay. Even if you prepare a whole chapter for a 1 hour session, are you capable enough? Are you capable enough in delivering that in the 45 minutes time? The other person will receive it well or not? So you should be capable enough. That is your ability. And then how we are going to present it to the students, how we are going to give it to them, that is called as the creativity. So one whole chapter, you have to focus, you have to read, you have to pay attention, you have to decide whether you will be able to do it or not, and then you will be capable enough or not. And then if I am capable enough, how am I going to do it? So that is what is concentration, attention, decision making, ability, and creativity. Okay. So when a stress is going to alter your health or emotion, all these five things, which is very very necessary for any single work you do in a daily life, is going to get affected. Okay. So there are two types of stress. Okay. So stress is not all about negative things. Stress is definitely not about negative things. Okay. There are two types of stress. One is called as the eustress. The other one is called as the distress. Okay. So eustress is basically stress which is
Madam, not audible.
Madam, not Madam, not
No.
audible.
Yes, sir. Yes. Ma'am, it's not audible. It's
I'm so sorry. I guess there was a network issue. Can somebody tell me where I left the meeting or where we were at the last? Can any of you please let me know where we left the meeting?
Ma'am, two types of stress, distress
Okay.
and eustress.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you're able to view my presentation? Yeah. Okay. So the types of stress, as I was talking, one is eustress, the other one is distress. Okay. So eustress is all about the eustress is all about the positive stress. Okay, so examples I have given, as you all know, birth of a new baby, birth, like getting a job promotion, getting married, or whatever it is. So what, like how to state getting a newborn or getting a promotion is a stress. Okay, so when we are talking about a newborn baby, obviously, yeah,
Full screen. Keep the full screen, ma'am.
yeah, is it okay now?
Oh, okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. So birth of a new baby, how it can be a stress. Okay. So we all will be obviously happy to carry an offspring, becoming a parents, getting promoted as grandparents, aunt, uncle, so whatever it is. Okay. But then along with that position, you are also having an added up responsibility. Okay. So adding up responsibilities like your responsibility of making more money to grow the child, your responsibility of bringing them up very safe enough. And then the next example is a job promotion. Obviously you're going to get a salary hike, you're going to get a beautiful designation, and then after that the negative part of it is, it is not a negative part, but then an added responsibility to it is like you will have a lot of work to do. Might be you will have to focus more, your work might be like a masterpiece or something like that. You will be like having a lot of responsibility to do with it. Okay, so what happens in this use stress is, it is very positive in nature. Okay, so it will help you fight against the challenge. Okay, you are a father now, you cannot give up the responsibility. Yeah, you will not give up. So that positive stress of becoming a father or becoming a good after getting a job promotion, a good designation, you will obviously be under the responsibility of making your work perfect. Yeah, so you will challenge yourself to adapt and grow. So the positive stress will always make you grow along with it. Okay, and it will put you into compulsive action of producing a new result and a new perspective. Obviously when you get a higher position in a new job, obviously you will like to prove yourself that you are different from all others. Yeah, so this use stress is always very positive in nature. It will not make you run away from the situation. Instead, it will make you fight against it and prove yourself. Okay, so this is one form of stress, that is use stress. The other one is called as the distress. Okay, this is what we all are facing at present. Okay, most of us face this distress as a problem. Okay, so say for example, what is a distress is death of a loved one, losing a job, getting divorced, even this pandemic, it is a distress. Okay, so what happens is, it is a negative stress. Okay, so when you lose somebody in your life, when you lose a job, instead of the brain will not think, I have a degree, I am educated, I am capable enough of finding a job. Before entering into that situation, your brain goes in for, what am I going to do for the rest of my life? For first thing you do is you end up in a fear. Okay, so you come into a fear. The first response your body gives is fear to the situation. Instead of focusing your abilities or something like that, you will first think that you have lost something. Okay, so death of a loved one also, you will think how we are going to proceed further with your life. But then the time does not stop, the earth does not stop revolving. Obviously after an year or so, you will be into your own pace of your life. Yeah, so distress, what happens is, it puts you into complete negative emotion. Okay, it will stop your ability and capability for a certain period of time, unless and until you return to this normal use stress level. Okay, so this negative situation will deplete or destroy the energy you have, and it can result in the feeling of disrespect, underestimation, distress, rejection, anger, and all the sort of negative things in your life. So what type of stress are we undergoing? This is what is very important to be identified first. Okay, excuse me. So this way you can know what sort of stress you are undergoing. So use stress is always a positive stress that will make you achieve your goal. Distress is something which will prevent you from achieving a goal. It is always negative in nature. Okay, next one is the causes. Like for so long I have been talking, I have been giving you so many examples. What can cause stress? It can be a work stress, it can be the ambition that you have. You can be over ambitious, that you are not able to achieve something. You might have peer pressure, that in and around, somebody stated me like near the house or opposite to their house there is a COVID positive patient. It is called as a peer pressure. Like in and around, the people around you and their situation will put you into pressure, I mean. Okay, so that is what is peer pressure. And then poor interpersonal relationship. Inside your family, you might not have a good personal relationship. That is one thing. Insecurities. If you lose the job, what you are going to do? Okay, health is all about, if you are undergoing a diabetic or a BP, you will always carry it in mind that you are diseased somewhere. It is not, health is a very important thing that causes stress. And then your kids, it can be financial issues, it can be change in the environment, like suddenly shifting from one city to another. It can be the climate, anything. Okay, environmental pollution is also a kind of stress. Noise pollution, disturbed marital life, and then cost of living that you are not able to afford. Just a habit is also a stress. Okay, so if you are a smoker, if you are an alcoholic, or if you have leave, it is, habit is not about just the smoking or an alcohol. Tea, coffee is also a simple habit. But then if you stop the tea, coffee for a day, you will end up like morning I did not drink any coffee and tea, so I'm getting headache. Evening 3 o'clock coffee kudichada, you'll be able to work for the rest of the day. So even a habit, the smallest of the habit, can put you into a different level of emotional and mental stress, and that will affect your body. Okay, so the causes can be n number. I have just classified into very few that can be easily correlated. Okay, so the cause can be n number that you really know or not really know at all. Okay, and then physiology of stress, as I first said you, the external environment will come, you will go into a flight or fright response, and then there will be adrenaline, cortisol, all the stress hormones that will be released, and then your heart rate will go high, breathing will go high, your cholesterol levels will shoot up, blood flow will be instead of going to the proper organs, your blood flow will be directed to the non-essential parts of the body like muscles. Okay, perspiration is the sweating, and then on top of all this, okay, the stress will put your immune system into a lower pace. Definitely COVID, in this pandemic, the stress and the fear the people have got is one of the reasons to put the immune system down. Okay, and the bayatile, their immunity will not work. Immune system is something like highly complex in nature. Anything can affect your immunity, anything. If you cry, you will not be immune at that point of time. When you are laughing a lot, you are not immune at that point of time. Your emotions are going to impact your immune system a lot. Okay, so once the immune system goes down, after that, when the threat is removed, like the outside environment or whatever, the stress situation, when it is removed, your acetylcholine will come into play, and then all the levels of hormones goes down, like adrenaline, cortisol levels will lower down, and then body will return back to normal. I explained this in the very beginning of the class. So this is what usually happens in a stress. I think when the pandemic started, when the lockdown was announced, everything was into stress. Like everybody were into stress. Like everything was stopped. No transport, no shops, nothing. You were like out of the normal world. You were into something else. Okay, so that was a stressful situation. Now when it was slowly released, you can go to your job and come. You had a little liberality to go out and go in. Your body started adapting to it, and then your body has become like at least to normal. The stress is a bit released at least. Okay, so this is what, when the environment supports you, the stress goes down and increases according to what environment you are facing. Okay, this is what about the brain and the endocrine I was talking about. The hypothalamus, which is present in the brain, that will stimulate the pituitary gland, and then it goes into the kidneys. Okay, kidneys in mentioned panadana. Above the kidneys, there is a gland called as adrenal gland, which is very important for the secretion of the stress hormones. Okay, so and the pituitary gland will affect this. In this picture, I all want you to see where the pituitary gland is exactly located. Okay, somewhere in the mid of the brain, which is at the point of the mid of your eyebrows. Okay, so now you can see a black line that is running through. So center of the eyebrows is where the pituitary gland is located. So what yoga has to do with it? Okay, yoga is all about focusing, all about concentration, putting your mind into stability. Okay, so most of you will tell, when you want to gain focus, nethi potla concentrate panana and all those things. Why? Because your pituitary gland is present over there, and that pituitary gland, when it is controlled, the stress hormones are not released in your body. At whatever point of situation it is, the stress hormones can be controlled. Okay, so when you are into panic, idhukku or best example enna sollalam appadina, when you are with your loved ones, okay, you have somebody to support around you, edavadhu or situation pops in, what they say, breathe in, deep breathe, relax, panic agade. Okay, focus, kana mudi, just breathe out. Okay, at that point, what you exactly do, you focus. So that deep breathing and the longer exhalation puts your pituitary gland into proper excretion phase. Okay, so it can excrete only a certain level of hormones, and what hormones you produce out, that depends upon how you react to the stress. Okay, and then the physiology of stress, as I said, your protein synthesis will go down, your digestion will be affected, your immunity goes down, allergic response comes in. Allergic response, I also want you to stay, I want to state something on this. Okay, allergic response is all about, I'll give you one simple example. Okay, why do we all sneeze? Why do we all cough? Okay, cough and sneezing, edinala varudhu. One of the main reasons is when you inhale some dust through your nose, you sneeze. Okay, when you swallow something, or unintentionally there is a mucus that is produced, you cough. Okay, what body is trying to do is it is trying to throw it out. Okay, when you have a sneezing response, you have so many droplets that is coming outside, you have the dust also along with it coming outside. Edinala abdina, inside the nose there are small hairs, minute hairs that are present for everybody. Why it is necessary for the hair to be present inside the nose? It is a preventive mechanism. Veliya irundhu when you breathe in and breathe out, you are doing through your nose only. So breathe in பண்ணும்போது, if you have any microparticles that is not suitable for your body, the hair will prevent it from growing inside. When it enters, it creates that reflex mechanism and you sneeze and your body automatically throws it out. Even when it is a cough, அப்படிதான் சாப்பிடும்போது பொறை ஏறும்னு சொல்லுவாங்க. The food will go inside the breathing pipe instead of the food pipe. So when you cough out forcefully, you expire and then you throw out the food that you unintentionally swallowed. So this allergic response also gets decreased. That is, your body will tend to take up. Okay, அழுகும்போது என்ன பண்ணுவீங்க? When you have a running nose, you will not try to put all the mucus that is coming out through your nose. Instead, you will be like, you will keep inhaling, take the mucus inside. Instead of the allergic response of throwing it out, what you do is you take it inside. Okay, so this is one of the simplest example that you can correlate. And then increased metabolism, as I said, your heart rate will increase, your respiratory rate, your breathing will go. And breathing, respiration எப்படி ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும் அப்படின்னா, when you are angry, how do you breathe? கோவப்படும்போது பெருமூச்சு விடுவோம். நம்ம எல்லாருமே பெருமூச்சு தான் விடுவோம். கோவப்படும்போது nobody will have a slower breathing. But then when you are laughing, when you are happy, when you are in love, or whatever it is, your breathing will be very, very slow. So your emotions are indirectly related to the heart functions. Okay, so when your emotions aren't stable, your heart will behave accordingly. கோவம் வந்தா your breathing is going to be high, your heart rate is going to be high, and படபடன்னு அப்படிதான் இருக்கும். When you're not angry, when you're stable enough, your breathing will be very normal. Okay, so heart pumping ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும்போது it will increase the blood clotting factors. And then acidity ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும். கோவமா இருக்கும்போது வயிறுல acidity வரலாம், எரிச்சல் வரும், வயிறுல pain வரும், and all those things. Your digestion is gonna be affected because of it. Increased production, blood sugar ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும். Stress is one of the reasons for getting diabetes. Food வந்து secondary. Okay, the lifestyle and the stress is one of the main reasons that we all end up into diabetes. Okay, so blood sugar levels வந்து ரொம்ப ஹையா வச்சுக்கிறதுக்கு stress is one of the main factors. Okay, and then localized inflammation அங்கங்க உடம்புல வலி, and the pain and swelling and all those things, increased blood pressure. So எல்லாமே affect ஆகும்போது obviously bodyல வந்து cholesterol level and energy production is going to be depleted. Okay, and then the symptoms, as I said, it can be physical symptoms, bodyல pain இருக்கலாம், ஏதாவது disease வரலாம் due to the stress. It can be emotional, like your anxiety, depression. It can be behavioral. If you are anxious, how do you behave? படபடன்னு வேலை செய்வீங்க. அப்போ at the end, how you would respond? அப்படிதானே respond பண்ணுவீங்க. So that is what. So symptoms can be physical, emotional, and behavioral. Okay, physical, I have given you certain examples like muscle tension இருக்கும், pain வரும், voice can be more, you might be loud in your talking, ரொம்ப irritedா இருப்பீங்க. When you're physically stressed, தூங்க முடியாது, stress ஜாஸ்தி இருக்கும்போது, inability to sleep. And then you will have excessive tiredness, weakness இருக்கும், நிறைய தண்ணி தாகம் எடுக்கும், breathing difficulty இருக்கும், வேர்க்கும், கையில வேர்க்கும், cold hands, you'll have stomach upset இருக்கும். All those things can happen physically. Okay, emotionally, you can have anger, you can have moodiness, you can have anxiety, depression. Suicidal thinking is one extreme form of mental symptom. That is okay. And then other than that, your appetite, okay, பசி எடுக்காது, சில நேரம் ஓவரா பசிக்கும், loneliness, you will get nightmares, your dreams, your diminished concentration, you are unable to work, and impaired memory, ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்க முடியாது, forgetfulness. And then this physical and mental things can result into behavioral changes like productivity. Obviously, when you're not focused, you cannot produce your work properly. Sleep disorders, ஒழுங்கா தூங்க முடியாம இருந்தா எப்படி இருக்கும்? If you're not going to sleep throughout the night, how you will behave the next day? Your sleep disorder. And then change in eating habits, proper சாப்பிட முடியாது, as I said. Serious appearance, முகத்துல சிரிப்பே இல்லாம, you will be like always serious on something, முடுமுடுன்னு இருக்கிறது, அந்த மாதிரி. Okay, and then nervous behavior, என்ன பண்றோம்னு தெரியாம behave பண்றது. Increased frustration, ஒரு சின்ன ஸ்டிமுலஸ்க்கு கூட ஓவர் ரியாக்ட் பண்ணுவோம். You will not அதுல ரெஸ்பாண்ட் பண்ணணும்னே இருக்காது அந்த situation, but then you will overreact for that situation. Alcohol consumption and many more. It can lead into many more habits. Okay, so இதெல்லாம் when you are into stress, this all can happen. Okay, so என்னெல்லாம் health problem வரும்? As I said, BP increase ஆகும், heart rate வரும், pulse rate increase ஆகும், all those things. Okay, what diseases it can cause? The first one is congenital heart disease. Okay, so cardiac heart disease எதனால வரும் அப்படின்னா when your heart is pumping faster, pressure ஜாஸ்தியாவே இருக்கும்போது at one point of time what will happen, your heart will lose its elasticity, obviously you will end up in coronary heart disease. Okay, so cholesterol ஜாஸ்தியானா heart attack வரும், cholesterol will be increased due to your stress levels. Okay, so pressure ஜாஸ்தியா இருக்கும்போது stroke வரும், your brain might end up with a paralysis, and then gastrointestinal problems. ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ல இருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு அல்சர்ஸ் நிறைய வரும், வயிறு புண்ணு ஜாஸ்தியாகும். why? because ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ல இருக்கும்போது வயித்துல வந்து hydrochloric acid HCl will be secreted. எப்பவுமே HCl is secreted in your stomach. Okay, HCl வந்து food digest பண்றதுக்கு ரொம்ப ரொம்ப important, but then stressல இருக்கும்போது என்ன ஆகும்னா this HCl will be produced more in number. Okay, so அந்த HCl ஜாஸ்தி ஆகும்போது ஒரு ஆசிட் வயித்துக்குள்ள இருந்தா என்ன ஆகும், it will cause ulcers, definitely புண்ணு பண்ணிரும் வயிறு. so it will cause the like ulcers, and then impaired immune system. As I said, immunity will go down. Adukapra insomnia is all about deprived sleep, சரியான தூக்கம் இல்லாதது, and then you will end up in headache, migraine especially, and then back pain. Okay, back pain is also caused due to the stress. Physical stress nala back pain varum, not because of mental stress. Physical stress is all about evlo varsham, all of us worked minimum for 20-30 years. எல்லாருமே at least 20 years of your life you are going to work. எல்லாருக்குமே வேலை will be sitting on the chair or standing throughout, which puts indirect pressure upon your back. Okay, school லயும் 8 மணி நேரம் the children are studying sitting, college லயும் it is like almost 6 to 8 hours in a day you're going to be seated throughout in the chair, so it is going to create some sort of physical tension and you will end up in a back pain. And then drug and alcohol use. Okay, and the stress of fight out pandradhukku you will enter into the alcohol usage and drug usage. And then CHT, as I mentioned, it is a coronary heart disease, like you might get a heart attack, increased cholesterol levels, sudden attack, acute attack, or whatever. Okay, so these are all the health problems that might be caused due to the excessive stress. Usually in the problems da varum due to the stress. Okay, and then so how to distress, if you compare, you have a stress, the other person has their own. If you think you are handling your own shit, but the other person also has the same. Okay, so for everybody it is their own priorities, it is their own situation that is very stressful in nature. Okay, so how to manage this apart from yoga? Leave the yoga, I'll come to it. So practicing yoga, apart from that, proper nutrition plays a very major role. enna saapadrongiradhu is very important. Okay, and then ஒழுங்கா தூங்குறோமா, you have to have an adequate sleep. Okay,
Hello.
yeah, hello, hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I
Okay.
think there was an interruption. Sorry.
Okay, so adequate sleep. Okay, positive attitude, handling a positive attitude towards the situation, doing a physical exercise, laughing out loud, relaxation, taking mind off the problem ஒன்னு இருந்தா அத பத்தி யோசிக்காம taking your mind out of it, meditating, and all those things can help you manage the stress. Okay, physical exercise is one of the best ways to eliminate the stress, because வெளி and what energy you radiate thinking about the problems, if you divert the energy physically, you will be out of the stress already. You might have seen people, okay, when you are into undergoing a stressful situation, they tend to work a lot. Okay, mind வந்து they'll tend to divert into any other form of work where they don't think about the stressful situation. Okay, so these are all other types of management. And now let us go into yoga. So what is yoga? Okay, so yoga is a mind body practice. As I said, it is not just standing upside down or making your body so flexible, touching your head to toe or whatever it is. It is not just about practicing the body flexibility, it is all about your mind and body coordination. Okay, so talagila ninna mattum yoga kadayadu. Okay, so அந்த talagila நிக்கிறதுக்கு you need to be focused, your mind need to be focused, உங்க body வந்து அதுக்கு comfortable adapt ஆகணும். Only when your mind says, yeah, I am in a right posture, my body is comfortable, you physically be comfortable. Okay, so yoga is all about mind and body practice. So it has stretching exercises, and while doing the exercises, like gymmukum yogakum there are so many differences. Okay, yoga always runs in a slow pace, whereas gym is always like repetitive movements. Okay, so enna agum appadina gym workout பண்ணும்போது you don't focus on your breathing, they just say breathe out through your mouth, breathe out through your mouth, breathe out through your mouth. But in yoga you have certain ratio that you need to breathe in and breathe out. Ivlo seconds inhale பண்ணனும், avlo seconds exhale பண்ணனும். When you do any form of practice, you control the breath. Okay, just imagine how many of you were thinking last in the 1 hour, I guess hardly for 1 hour this session is running from 2:30 to 3:30. How many of you did really feel upon your breathing? Did any of you concentrate? Are you inhaling? Are you exhaling? Not at all. Nobody would have focused on it. Yoga does all this. Ipo, I'll tell you how long you breathe in and breathe out now without focusing. Can you tell me like how many seconds you inhale and how many seconds you exhale? You cannot. Okay, so for controlling the breathing, you are putting your attention and focus throughout on your breathing, so your mind gets voluntarily focused over there. Okay, so controlling breathing is one of the important techniques that we follow in yoga. And then the relaxation. Once your mind is not thinking about anything else other than the breathing, your mind is automatically relaxed, right? எந்த ஸ்ட்ரெஸ்ஃபுல்லான சிச்சுவேஷனை பத்தியும் யோசிக்க வேண்டாம், in and around என்ன நடக்குது எதை பத்தியுமே யோசிக்காம, if you are keeping on thinking about how you are breathing, how is your breathing, you will be obviously relaxed. Okay, and then there are certain traditional books written for this yogic practice. One among that is the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Okay, Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. Patanjali is the father of yoga. Yeah, so basically he invented this science from Lord Shiva. It came into existence. Lord Shiva gave this form of yoga. You would have seen the posture of Lord Shiva sitting, right? Kaala oru mari mele thooki potu crisscross legs oda he will be sitting. This is the posture of Lord Shiva usually in many of the places. So he is the originator from where the yoga came in, and to get it into human science, it was through the Patanjali Maharishi. Okay, so he said yoga is restraint of the activities of the mind. That is, enna solla varanga in that statement, you restrain your mind to all the activities that are outside your body. Okay, mind oda matta ella thought process you arrest panni just thinking focused on a blank environment is what is all yoga does. Okay, so not only in this Patanjali Yoga Sutra, there is one another religious book we all know, that is Bhagavad Gita, the religious textbook all the Hindus follow. Okay, so this Bhagavad Gita, even that it is written, evenness of mind is yoga. Yoga means yoga is skillfulness in action. Okay, so when you do anything, are you skillful enough in doing it? Yarnalla vena anybody can do. Okay, talagida nikka sonna for a second anybody can stand on it, or a jerky movement la kuda you can stand and you can come up. Are you skillful enough in doing it? Will you be able to maintain it? Will you be comfortable in doing it? So this skillfulness is brought through yoga. Okay, so evening your mind for that particular situation is called yoga. Okay, this is what even Bhagavad Gita states. And then the stages of yoga. Okay, so how this control is brought, we follow about 8 things. Okay, the first one is yam, that is restraining, that is non-violence, following non-violence, certain set of rules and regulations that you follow, restrain your mind from doing it. Okay, and then niyam is observance. Observance is like following certain rules, sticking on to the rules. Okay, so sticking on to the rules. Next one is body postures. Okay, so talagira nikkanona, you definitely need the attention to do it. Okay, kaiya first keeda vechi odambu thookina da varum illaya, thalaiya kondu poi first vechi if you lift your body it does not. Okay, so to do the body posture also you need focus. So how do we bring that focus and the concentration kondu vara? There are these many steps. The first one is yama, that is restraining yourself from any other worldly activity. Second one is the niyama, observing to the rules and sticking on to the rules and regulation. And the third one is the asana, practicing body postures. The fourth one is pranayama. After coming to the body postures, to maintain it, pranayama is very important for regulating your breath. That is, we give you a pattern of breathing exercise so that your body and mind stays focused on that particular regulating mechanism. Okay, so your mind will be obviously focused on it. And then abstraction of senses. When you are focused on one single thing, all other senses turn out. Okay, your eyes are closed. Even when you have a noise around you, you will not hear it when you're focused. When you're sleeping, idi kuda vilagalam. Are we getting up? Every one of us don't. At least it takes 2 or 3 times for the sound to repeat so that you get out from the sleep. So there, when you go into a deep sleep, your senses are not aware of what is happening in the outside world. Okay, so yoga also does the same thing to you. Okay, it will allow you to abstain yourself from the senses when you are awake. Okay, thoongumbodhu it is a sleeping state. When you are in awakened state, yoga will help you abstain from the senses. And then comes the dharana, that is concentration, then goes into the meditation. And then once you are focused upon yourself, you will realize the full potential in you. That is the self realization, that is samadhi. What your soul, what is a soul, what is a body, what is body and how the soul is related to it. Is it two different aspects? Okay, so body is just a physical tool. Okay, உள்ளுக்குள்ள இருக்கிற அந்த soul தான், for the desires the soul have, you are using the body to do the things. The body has really nothing to do in this world. Okay, it is just a tool that your soul takes to do any sort of, attain any sort of materialistic things that it wants to. Okay, so to realize that your soul is nothing but a form of energy. Okay, it does not have anything to do with the material desires. That phase is called as self-realization. So the stages of yoga goes like this: first of this 8, and then the self-realization. Okay, and then how yoga works on the stress, basically why yoga is implemented as one of the best ways to first என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, stress, many mental disorders, they'll tell meditate பண்ணு, yoga கத்துக்கோ. Why they say how? Because என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னா, when you do the breathing, okay, this is also a general physiological body, you all might know. Chestக்கும் வயிறுக்கும் நடுவுல there is a leaf like muscle that is called as a diaphragm. Okay, so diaphragm அது என்ன பண்ணும்னா, when you breathe in and breathe out, it keeps moving up and down. இங்க கீழே digestive system இருக்கும், இங்க மேல is your lungs. This diaphragm keeps moving up and down, up and down, up and down. இந்த diaphragmல வந்து there is a nerve called as vagus nerve. அது வந்து என்ன பண்ணும்னா, it carries the signals to the brain. Okay, it carries the signals to the brain. So when you're doing any sort of yoga practice, any sort of breathing exercises, this vagus nerve will initiate the parasympathetic nervous system. That is, it will slow down your respiration, it will reduce your heart rate, it will reduce your blood pressure, it will stimulate your digestive activity. So first, and the first part of stress la we were talking about என்னெல்லாம் நடக்கும், என்னெல்லாம் physiological response நடக்கும்னு பார்த்தபோது, you saw all the rivers of it. Okay, your breathing is increased when you are in stress, your heart rate was increased when you are in stress, your blood pressure was also increased when you are in stress, also your acidity levels were high when you were in stress. So the yoga works on all the 4 things. When you do this breathing practice, all these 4 things what your body faces when there is a stressful situation is put into lowering aspect, avoiding the injury caused by the stress to the body. Okay, this one I explained you in the beginning. So yoga will work upon the emotions. Okay, so emotions are work pani, it goes into the hypothalamic, it goes into the pituitary, and then it comes to the organs, and then your physiological stress is reduced. Okay, and then yoga, like when you do asana, that is like I told you about flexibility, standing the upside down or what, touching your head to do or whatever it is, how it does is it gives the muscular flexibility, நல்ல joint movements without causing any pains, முட்டி வலி அதெல்லாம் இல்லாம prevent பண்றதுக்கு it will help you, and it will improve your posture. Okay, spinal posture help பண்ணும், energy level increase பண்ணும், respiration and cardiovascular, as I said, heart rate and BP, all these things are efficiently being worked on, and then your endurance, your immunity is increased, endocrine functions are increased, your weight will be regularized, your digestion will improve. Okay, so pranayama, how it will help us, it will fight against the anxiety and depression. Mind வந்து when it keeps free, anxiety will not be there, depression will not be there, you will have enough concentration, attention, you will be stable enough, pulse rate, respiratory rate, BP, everything will be maintained. Alpha waves in the brain emits 3 different waves. Okay, alpha, beta and theta. Okay, so this alpha waves, when it is on higher, always a person emits beta waves. Okay, whenever there is a stress, beta waves will be on higher side. Okay, to emit alpha waves, to put that beta waves into a lowering aspect, this alpha waves helps. So yoga helps you bring out this alpha waves from the brain, and then stress and resilience increases. Okay, the strength will be high, and then the breath holding time increases the lung capacity. Okay, pranayama பண்ணும்போது when you do a breathing exercise, anyways we'll be going in for a breathing session for about 10 to 15 minutes. So when you go in for a breathing exercise, when you inhale, before you exhale, you hold the breath for some time. Okay, அப்ப என்ன ஆகும்னா, lungs வந்து expand ஆகி at one point of time it will be holding, and then it comes and collapses. Okay, so expand collapse க்கு நடுவுல ஒரு holding phase இருக்கும். So என்ன ஆகும்னா, when you hold it, the elasticity of the lungs goes high, the capacity of the lungs goes high. So for the lung health, pranayama is one of the best ways to keep the vital capacity very high. Okay, and then meditation helps you be aware of yourself, acceptance varum, self realization varum, you can control all your mood, memory, learning skills, attention, everything can be improved, your social adjustment improves, because enna stress vandalu enna narum. Hello. Just a second. Can you call me after 4:30? Yeah. Okay, I'm so sorry. I thought somebody's calling me if the network has gone down. I'm so sorry. Okay, so what I was talking is social adjustment improves, and then subject well-being improves, and all those things. When you do meditation, you know what you're capable enough of. So when you're happy with your own self, other environment or the outside environment will not affect you. Okay. Where I was. Okay. So biochemical benefits of yoga is like your glucose levels can be maintained, sodium levels of the kidneys can be maintained, your cholesterol levels can be maintained. It will improve your hemoglobin, vitamin C levels, and vitamin D levels. Okay. Biological, which you cannot see through your eyes, but then on your blood reports, it is all easily visible. Okay. So yoga appears to be blunt, but harmful effects and the heightened the effects that is caused by can be really regulated with the yoga practice. There are many scientific evidences that really the heart rate, because stress indicate பண்றதுக்கு first factor வந்து உங்க pulse தான் check பண்ணுவாங்க. If your heart rate is high, it means your body is stressed at some part of it, either physically or mentally you are affected. Okay, so when you do yoga, your heart rate can be measured by yourself. You can use your mobile phone, you can use your Fitbit or whatever it is. You can really see your heart rate. Okay, so the பார்க்கும்போது you will definitely know you're coming down on the stress level. So it is definitely evidence based completely. And then yoga helps you to relax. The way we breathe reflects the quality of mind. If you are peaceful, if you are slow enough in breathing, the mind also will be peaceful and slow. Okay, so on a nutshell, you have to slow down from the routine. Okay, keep calm, be positive, just accept the situation, just unplug yourself from the stress, enjoy whatever you're having and have fun with whatever you love. Breathe, relax, go outside, be happy and meditate. Okay, so before we go into the breathing practice, if you have any questions to be asked for, you can please go ahead. We'll go for a 10-minute. Yeah, you have any questions to be asked? Anybody has any questions? Shall I move to the session of yoga practice? Do you have any questions? Okay, somebody has put in Dropbox chair chitra. Okay, can you suggest some simple yoga to burst out stress? Yeah, we are going for a session, a small 10-minute session. I can give you 2-3 minutes. If you have any other questions regarding the presentation or you want to know regarding it, please let me know. If not, we can go in for the practice. We can start the practice. Okay, I guess there are no questions. We can all go for the yoga session. Okay, so keep your spine comfortable wherever you are seated. Okay, I want the posture to be I want the posture to be very erect. Okay, keep your spine erect. Go against the wall. If you cannot sit erect like this, please stay against the wall. Okay, sit on a floor, sit on a chair, wherever it is possible, but keep your spine straight. Okay, the head, neck and the spine should be straight. Close your eyes, just listen to my instructions. Okay, when we go upon the breathing practice, I'll tell you how to do it. That time you can open your eyes. Okay, so I want every one of you to just stick on to my instructions. Okay, so keep your eyes closed. Okay, inhale and exhale deep and slow. Okay, now start focusing on your breathing. Keep your spine erect. Okay, so as you inhale and as you exhale, look in for the movements of your chest and your abdomen. Okay, so breathe in பண்ணும்போது chest எப்படி மூவ் ஆகுது, breathe out பண்ணும்போது chest எப்படி மூவ் ஆகுது, அதே டைம்ல abdomen எப்படி மூவ் ஆகுது, abdomen எப்படி when you inhale and exhale, how your abdomen is moving in and out, அதையும் observe பண்ணணும். So go for 11 counts. Okay, 11 counts of breathing. அதாவது one time you inhale and exhale is one count. Okay, so that way 11 times deep and slow. Just focus how your body is moving as you breathe. Okay, go ahead. Inhale deep and slow. I guess all of you can turn on your videos so that I can see if the practice is right. Can you all please turn on your videos? Focus on the breathing. Focus. Close your eyes. Focus on your breathing. Inhale and exhale slowly and deeply. Calm down your breathing. Close your eyes. Keep your spine erect. Head and neck in one line. Eyes closed. Okay. Most of you have hypertension. Okay. Many of you, I guess, will be having BP problem and sugar problem. So I'm going to give you one of the best techniques of yoga that can put your BP levels down, and you can measure it by yourself using a Fitbit, or if you have BP apparatus in your home or whatever. Okay. So we are going to do the practice. What we are all going to do is just close the right nostril with one finger. Okay. Use the forefinger of your hand. Okay. Close the right nostril completely. All right. Close the right. Yeah.
Ma'am, please tell me about the yoga about the diabetes patient.
Yeah.
Yes, actually,
Yes. I'll tell you. The breathing practice that we are going to do is for the blood pressure and the diabetes only.
diabetes patient. Okay.
Okay, so close the right nostril completely. Okay, using one ring finger, you can close the right nostril completely. You have to just inhale and exhale through your left nostril. Okay, for most of you, the left can be blocked, but it is okay. Start inhaling and exhaling through the left nostril. Close your eyes. Feel in for the temperature of the air. Okay, so when you breathe in and breathe out through your left nostril, the air must be cold. It should be cool or cold. So the temperature matters a lot. Adhidam will make you identify if the breathing is right. Okay, so close the right nostril, inhale and exhale only through the left for 11 rounds deep and slow. Okay, count panunga. 4 seconds you have to inhale and 8 seconds you have to exhale. Okay,
Total 5 seconds.
total is 8 plus 4 is 12. 4
12.
seconds inhalation, 8 seconds exhalation.
Okay, ma'am. मैम व्हाट इज द टाइम मतलब कितने टाइम तक करना है सिर्फ
This is for 11 rounds. It will take 2 minutes to 3 minutes if you practice it properly.
ओके मैम
More than inhalation, your exhalation should be longer. Please focus on the breath. Once you're done with the practice, you can slowly stop it. Okay, so whenever you're angry, when you're stressed out, when you really want to avoid the situation or you want to take a right decision in that situation, you really need to be focused or concentrated. Every one of you can use this tool. Okay, this left nostril breathing looks as simple as that, but it has tremendous effects on your emotions. Okay, it has tremendous effects on your body. So I request at least you stick on to this principle. Whenever you are into a worryful situation, when you are stressed, please try to do it. Okay, immediately then and there, your breathing is going to be relaxed, your emotions will be stabilized. Okay, so I want every one of you to follow. And then if you have any more questions to put up, please go ahead, or else we can be done with the session. Anybody, you have any questions? I think coordinators, you have anything to ask for?
It was very simply, it was wonderfully explained, and the concepts are very simple.
Yeah.
So I think they don't have any questions.
Okay.
Uh, if there are more yoga practices, then we can have also
Yeah.
one or two more.
You want to go for another two breathing? Okay, fine. Okay.
Yeah.
So there are few questions on the chat box. Let me just come back to it. Uh, if we have back pain, is there is there something for it? Okay, and what is the best time to do these exercises? Okay, okay. So if you have things to decide, like time decides your stress, you don't have anything really. Okay, if you want to have a normal day, okay, when if you want to stay your take your day stabilized, okay, that way you can practice this breathing practice in the morning hours, early morning, between somewhere 6 to 7 in the morning, or up to 7:30 is fine. Okay, if at all you want to go on a relaxation after your tiresome day or something, you can do it on the dusk time. Okay, that is between dawn and dusk, that is in the evening 5:30 to 6:30. At that time, if at all there is any other stressful situation, you can do it anywhere and everywhere, but not immediately after your food. Okay, so no yoga or no pranayama can be practiced immediately after your food. This is one thing I want to tell everyone. Do not practice any sort of breathing, any sort of yogic exercises immediately after the food. Okay, so at least half an hour break for the breathing exercises after your food is required. All right, so best time to do is either morning 6 to 7 or between evening 5:30 to 6:30. If at all in between you are feeling emotionally weak, stressed, you really want to focus, you can practice it at that point of time anywhere sitting on the chair. All right, keeping your spine effect, you can do it anywhere. And then for the back pain, we do have certain techniques that you can do. Like most of you are like seated in the chair, right? So keeping your spine erect, okay, holding your hands to the chair like this, twisting yourself to the right, okay, holding for 20 seconds, and then twisting yourself to the left, holding for 20 seconds, bending forward, trying to touch the hands to the foot, and then lifting your hands, stretching it up, okay, side bends, right and left. This all puts a good pressure upon the back muscles. Okay, this four things you do it every 1 hour sitting on your chair, just 2-3 minutes you do it. It will neglect all the stress that you're accumulating in the body throughout the day sitting on the chair. Okay, it is just that twisting right and left on your chair, forward bending, extending straight, and then side bends. Okay, so side bends, that is all. This is all is enough for reducing the back pain. If at all you need a proper session, you can go ahead with regular yoga classes. We do have yoga classes, so you can go ahead with finding out something near your place online. There is everything available now, so you can find one. Yeah, any simple yoga for good sleep. Okay, so this is one of the best techniques. Those who are having sleeping problem, that is, if you take a lot of time to fall asleep on your bed, this left nostril breathing, what I taught you before some time, is one of the best techniques to fall asleep faster. Okay, you can just sit on your bed before going to the sleep, or you can lie down and even do the practice. Okay, within 20-21 counts you will fall asleep, that is for sure. You just breathe in and breathe out through your left nostril. Focus on the breathing and do it. Within 21 rounds, you will definitely fall asleep. This is one of the best practices to slow down the process of your mind. Yeah. Anything else? I think I've what can be done for hyperacidity. Okay, hyperacidity, one thing, whenever you are having this acidity, I'll tell you, instead, first before going in for the breathing, you can go drink cold milk. Okay, have some cold milk or sip cold water, or you can sip the ice cube. You can keep the ice cube, that will put your acidity down. So once you feel that burning sensation is done, we have another breathing practice which is called as the Shitali Pranayama. What you have to do is you just have to clench your teeth. Okay, you just have to clench your teeth like this, and then like sucking through the straw, you just have to breathe in through your mouth. Okay, so when you breathe in, what happens, you get cold air passing by your food pipe. Okay, that will put your acidity down. And then exhalation through the nose, you inhale but with hissing sound like this, and then breathe out through the nose. You do it immediately, your acidity will go down. It will go down very immediately. Yeah. Anything else in the chat box? I think good sleep I've answered, acidity I've answered, back pain I have answered. Best time to do the exercises. Anything else that you want to ask? Yoga to improve eyesight. Okay, so one of the best things is to go with the eye exercises. Okay, if you can't sit and do it just in home, what you can do is you can place a candle at your table stand. Okay, and just focus on the candle, the light of the candle for about 1.5 minutes until tears start rolling from your eyes. You should not wink your eyes in front of the candle. Instead of winking, you just focus on the candle light. In the beginning it might be very difficult, 15-20 seconds you might start watering, but then you'll slowly improve. But when you start focusing on the light, definitely your eyesight will improve. That is one of the best practices that you can do in yoga. Okay, keep a candle straight at your eye level on a table about 10 meters distance. I mean, not 10 meters, I'm so sorry, about 30 centimeters or 50 centimeters distance from you, and then you can just focus on the candle light.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah.
FDP. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. So I guess we can leave the meeting.
Yes, ma'am. It was a very wonderful session. So far days we were seeing only about the technical part, and this is a different thing where we are going into the non-technical one, and we got some ideas about what are the simple yoga practices we can do, simple exercises we can do to reduce our stress.
Yes.
Thanks for your inputs.
Thank you
You,
so
ma'am.
much. Yeah, it was
Can I
great.
have one last question? Yoga to decrease dark circles of eyes and how to reduce migraine and back pain.
Okay. So back then, as I said, these few chair positions, what I taught you, that is one of the best ways to remove the back pain and the stress. Okay. Second one, coming to the migraine. If you have a migraine attack, okay, at that point, what you can do is you can wrap some ice cubes in a towel and then keep it on your head for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, which area is hurting? To that area, you just keep the ice cubes wrapped in a towel. The migraine will go down immediately like that. Okay, one thing. If not, if the ice cubes are not available over there, if you can get an orange, you can eat an orange. That will put your acidity, I mean, it will put your migraine level go down immediately. If not, you can have a regular practice of having apple which is salted. Okay, you can cut the apple, mildly give a coating of salt to the apple, and then have it in empty stomach in the morning. That will not cause migraine, it will prevent migraine actually. So you can have salt and apple added in the morning. You can have oranges to prevent migraine, and then ice cubes to keep the pain down whenever you get pain. If you don't get ice cubes at all, go and wet your hair, I mean wet your scalp under the cold water. Okay, just pour some cold water above your head. It will also put the migraine immediately down. That is one thing. Other than that, yoga practice, this left nostril, what I have thought, that will put the heat of the body down, reducing the migraine. That you can do. Dark circles of the eyes is nothing related to yoga. Okay, dark circle happens only when your body is stressed. Okay, when you don't get enough sleep, then dark circle happens. I think you have to correct your sleep patterns rather than looking for some packs and other techniques to remove the dark circles. Okay, so remove the causative factor, what causes the dark circles, rather than trying something to suppress it. Okay, so if you don't have a good sleeping pattern, please change it. That can put your dark circles down. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for a very wonderful session.
Okay.
We also got very good feedback from the participants also.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
Thank you
ma'am.
so much. Yeah. Thank you.